And we are back with Icarus. Select character. So, set up getting as far as level 5. We can now make wood structures, which is nice. Now, oh, there's still some coming soons out the end there. There is a lot more missions than there has been previously, which is nice. And you can replay them as many times as you like as well. See, I'm trying this on DX12 with and there's ray tracing and stuff. I feel I'm probably going to have to turn that off though. Yeah, it's way too jerky. I mean, it looks nice, but it's way too jerky. This is a very demanding game, unfortunately. I've already got a bunch of stuff turned down. Off. And you have to turn that on to do that anyway. Won't bother with ray tracing, that's fine. And that's already smoother. And the next thing to do would be to probably turn down shadows more, or just drop the view distance, because I have that on epic, just so I don't have things disappearing in the distance too much. You mostly only... oh, carrots. Can I just straight up eat those? Raw food. I can just straight up eat those. Slight health boost. Oh, not as good as a lot of the other stuff, but... let's make one of those straight away, because I can hear wolves already. Though I can only make one arrow, because I only have one stone. Get to pick up a few more stones. Bunch of them over here. Travel to the map locations apparently ticked off. Oh, hello. Here's the box. I don't actually want to pick up the radar just yet, though. Just grab some berries. I don't need cocoa at the moment. Always like having a slot for berries. So, pickaxe. Axe. Now I can just start chipping away at rocks. Now, where are we on this? Okay, I think I remember where I am. And yeah, there's a large island in the middle of the lake over there. Is that actually an island, though? Apparently it is, but I see creatures on it, so it's not as safe as the tall island. Tea! Very nice. So there is a safer island, I think further south, that we can set up a base. Make a knife now. Some more of those. Good. I love how you can make armor pieces just on your person now. Just for the basic cloth armor. It's nothing fancy, but just helps a little bit. And when you complete the set, you get a movement speed buff. Quite how wearing armor over the top of your environment suit helps you move easier than you would otherwise. I'm not entirely sure, but I'll take it. They have to incentivize it somehow. I'll be doing a very similar build in this than I was in the later beta weekends, where I'll be optimizing for speed and stamina. I think for solo play, it's just a good way to go, because that way you can outrun things a lot. When there's bad things around, you can just kind of dip in and out of their threat zone without actually being detected by them, which is quite valuable. Cool. Just gonna keep making some more arrows. And make some leg armor now. Continue our forest floor deforestation. We do need to find some wolves to shoot soon at some point so we can actually set up a bedroll. We've kind of got all day though. Just that's the kind of the goal before the first night time, is to have been able to find enough game to be able to fashion a bedroll. Nice. Next. Cool, so we've got some leftovers of that. Make ourselves some chest armor now. Oh, do we already have that? We already had that. Oh well, bonus XP. Head and arms is all we're missing now. Arms and head. Nice. Movement speed has now gone up. Cool. What shall we do now? I think we may as well just grab the radar, because that'll now... We don't have anything else to put into our G-spot. So now it'll tell us where we have to go. Alright, so that's the one with the bear. I don't know what's supposed to turn up there, and I don't know what's supposed to turn up here. Let's move the marker up a little bit. Okay, so you want to mosey on down that way. And hopefully as we go, we'll find some things to hunt. Probably pick off some deer and stuff, but they're just kind of annoying. Wolves are still the easiest thing, and most rewarding thing. Some more pumpkins. Also for food, anytime you're near a lake, you can just grab fish out of the water. You can literally just jump in and grab them with your hands. Well, hit them with a knife first, or a bow, and then just grab them with your hands. A little bit spiky here and there, unfortunately. But the performance is overall pretty good. Foliage turns down does mean you get kind of a bit of a pop-in sort of thing. Less pop, more just fade in. It would be nice to be able to boost that out, but I suspect that would definitely contribute to things, because that's a lot more shadows that would be having to be rendered. Is that a wolf? No, it's a rabbit. I'll take it anyway. So it does mean that hunting, when you get close to something, you lose sight of it. You can see things further away, which is kind of good, especially for solo play. It's a little bit of an advantage that I'll just take, because playing solo is otherwise more difficult. But it does mean when you get closer, things get obscured again. But at least you get a little bit more advanced warning if you get to see things before they appear, or before they see you. I'm not sure whether or not they kind of get like sight lines as such for the AI, whether or not they can't see you if you're behind a tree, for example. I've generally just acted as if they do behave like that. Just realised my hardware monitor's covering the chat. Hey Cricket, welcome. Game is fully released. Check it out, see if you like the look of it. Always remember you can play something for a couple of hours and refund it on Steam. Though honestly, the cost of the game, I feel that even a couple of hours is pretty good value out of it, but I fully expect to get several hundred hours out of this game. So I hear wolves, but I haven't seen one. I need to get some wolves. Actually, to be fair, if I just kind of rushed this first objective and things attack me, assuming I manage to defend myself, then that'll get me the fur that I need. Wasn't getting very good reviews for some reason. There's a lot of haters. I'm not entirely sure why. There's a lot of people who have taken issue with the developer, because it's apparently the guy who's in charge of the Rocketworks company, Dean Hall, was in charge of DayZ, whatever that is. I've never even heard of that. Well, I've kind of obliquely heard of it, but I don't know what it is. And for some reason has given the game a bad rap. Oh, Unreal Processors crashed. I was experimenting with the DirectX 12, and that is apparently a bit less stable still. Send and close. We'll restart again. It does save your progress as you go, at least. Play. I might just go back to DX11, because I'm not using ray tracing. It's the first crash I've had. Like, I played it for almost an hour last night and didn't have any crashes. So I suspect it might just be because I was putting too much strain on my system then. Yeah, I haven't looked at the content of the reviews as such. I kind of don't care what other people have to say about it. But yeah, there's been a lot of just hate by association, which is annoying. There's also been people who kind of don't get it in terms of what they're going for. Going, oh, but it's not alien enough. It's like, yeah, it's not No Man's Sky. Read the lore. It's meant to start off as just a kind of terrestrial survival style game. It's kind of like The Forest in that it starts off normal and then gets weird. So it starts off with familiar surroundings, and then progressively you start to see more of the alien influence, and it starts getting more exotic. And as you move up through the missions, you get more difficult ones. They will take you to places where things are stranger. They've already announced a couple of DLCs that are coming out. Bearing in mind that the cost of the game is like a $20-25 US game, so it's already kind of cheap for what it offers, in my opinion. And there's 2 DLC planned that'll be probably a similar price each if they add a decent amount of stuff. And they are expanding on the alien aspects of the game. So like any game, like there's a lot of games in my library that have like bad or mixed reviews, and it hasn't stopped me playing them simply because I looked at those reviews. Well, I either knew that I'd like the game and just played it anyway, or I looked specifically at the reviews and decided I don't agree with them, or they're complaining about things I don't care about. People complaining about the performance of the game, maybe, which is a bit more valid. It's a beast of a game. It takes quite a lot. You can drop a lot of the quality settings down, but then it doesn't look as good. But big surprise, you cannot expect a game to look really good and run really well a lot of the time. Not with performance, right? Yeah. So there you go. And then it kind of depends on, well, what sort of kit do you have? What are you trying to run it on? Because, hang on, I will Alt-Tab and take a look at the store page. What do they say are the minimum requirements, I wonder? Because I'm fairly sure... So, minimum requirements, an i5-8400, fair enough, 16 gigs of RAM, yep. A 1060 with 6 gigs, yep. If you're running on, like, low settings for everything, that would be sufficient. If people are trying to get away with a minimum spec and running it on anything other than low, you're gonna have a bad time. Something just ran past you? Yeah, it was just a deer. So recommended is an i7-9700 and an RTX 3060 Ti. That's kind of similar to what I have. I have a 5600X AMD processor, and I have a 2070, which is kind of similar to a 3060 Ti, but less VRAM, and they recommend 32 gigs of system RAM. So, they know it's a beast, and they recommend that you have a very good rig. But yeah, there's a lot of people who are going on. There's another saying that hoping the player base will continue to support and continue to load their bots with microtransactions. There's no microtransactions in the game. At all. Like, I don't know where people get that idea. Early access title advertised a full release game with bugs from previous betas. No, that's some things that were labelled as bugs, but aren't actually. Like, people didn't like them, but... yeah, it can't play for more than 15 minutes without crashing. Well, I had a crash, but again, what are your specs? Wolves and bears spawn out of thin air right in front of the player. No, not unless they're dictated to by a mission. 20 to 40 FPS with everything maxed out on a 3080 Ti. If you've got everything maxed and you're running with ray tracing, then yeah, probably. I tend to get higher FPS than that with mine. So, yeah, I don't know. Again, I think people these days feel very entitled and are very harsh on things for no good reason. So, whatever. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I was saying before on stream, I've got the foliage settings turned down, so things kind of fade in as I get close to them, because otherwise that's extra shadows that have to render, and it's a compromise. I like things close to me to look good, so I don't want to drop the shadows too much. So my compromise to that is to just reduce the number of things that need to render shadows. So I'm perfectly used to and perfectly fine with making compromises in my settings for the sake of a game. Because, you know, that's just reality. I would rather that they make a game that can look absolutely gorgeous on good hardware, but still runs adequately if you drop the settings on low hardware, rather than just make a game that runs well on everything, but that means that you're not getting the use out of top-end hardware. So, still think the original release of No Man's Sky got hated on way too hard. They literally did promise a lot of stuff that never made it into the game, so I could understand why a lot of people got pretty butthurt about that. That had a little bit more justification to it. A lot of the complaints I've seen about Icarus have been people complaining about things that have never even been mentioned. Like, they're kind of complaining about something that it just isn't. And that's a weird thing. And then, yeah, a lot of people enjoyed the game, started to dislike it. Yeah, it kind of comes as a cool to hate sort of thing, and therefore it feels like a guilty pleasure, and that never feels good. I didn't play No Man's Sky at first because I wasn't that interested in it anyway. I thought it looked a little bit too, I don't know, arcadey, really. Like, the graphics look... It reminded me a bit of, like, Spore graphics. Yeah, they went... Whoa. Hello. That's right, there's cave worms now. Ow. You bastard. Did I get you? I think I got him. It's got a poison effect. Oof. Okay. That was another complaint that people had after the beta, is that, oh, it feels too safe. So, well, they've made some changes around that. Caves are no longer as safe as you might like. Which I'm sure some people will now complain about. They'll say, oh, but I can't just shelter in a cave. It's like, no. That's the other problem I think that this game is going to have, is that it is quite a wide spectrum game. There's quite a few people who will want to play it, but they will all have differing opinions about what they want the game to be, and they're not going to be able to please everyone. Because personally, I just really enjoy the fact that, you know, I've got over 100 hours just from playing betas. I have been really enjoying this game, so... I now need 2 more stone. Oh, let's just drop that down. Basically, the main thing that I would say is, if people are curious about the game, to give it a try. Don't expect it to be some sort of second coming, because it won't be. You know, don't expect perfection because nothing is. Just don't be stupid, really. And from what I've seen, there are a lot of really stupid reviews. You know, if it doesn't perform very well on your hardware, yeah, that's unfortunate, especially if you've got really good hardware, but even on really good hardware these days, you're going to have to make some compromises sometimes. Also, we don't know what are people running in the background. I'm trying to render trying to process this video editing and play this game at the same time, and I can't. Funny that. You know, we don't know what people are doing with their hardware.
Well, here we are. You know what to do?
It's definitely a case of try it yourself. If you don't like it, refund it. But make sure you're doing so for the right reasons, and not just because someone else said something on the internet. Let's make some more arrows. So I can start making these. Can lay out a little bit of foundations, and we're going to be wanting some of those as well, and some of these as well. I'm going to need to eat something soon. Am I near a lake? I kind of passed one down there I could pop down to. I can't fully remember the map, and I'm kind of trying to not rely on my external map too much. Still haven't seen any wolves. I expected wolves, damn it. Come attack me. Let's go get a ton of berries and just rely on those. Now, specifically I want wolves, I don't want a bear. Not yet. Preferably not at all. I can imagine this being kind of a bit of a divisive game as well. I've seen similar things with Subnautica. It obviously didn't get as wide an audience because it was a kind of smaller indie game. I mean, this was a small indie company, so... You know, it's a team of maybe 50, 100 people, something like that. I'm not sure. But I've seen people complain about Subnautica that, oh, it doesn't help you enough. There's, you know, it's not enough instruction. There's too much to do and not enough guidance of telling me what I need to do next. There's that in this game as well, you know, it doesn't lead you by the hand. And I can imagine that being difficult for some people. But other people will really love that. I could see both being useful things. I think it's always good if a game can be hand-holdy in terms of extra tutorial tips and stuff. So long as you have the ability to turn them off. So if people want to go into it without any of that sort of assistance, then they can. Need to actually make a fire. There's another cave here. This one's just straight up open. That's bait. Deer in the distance. Still no wolves. I mean, if I need to, I can just throw together a base for overnight, but it's going to be a very long night if I don't have a bedroll. So I really want some furs for that. Come back. Some showers. Fairly sure I'll just be able to stay outside in the showers and just let them pass without it really bothering me. keep hearing wolves, but I've not seen any. There's one. Good. Perfect. Bollocks. There we go. I need water as well. That should be a priority. Is that a bear? Let's just go straight east, pretty much. That is a bear. Let's not go straight east. We are not going to go tangling with bears just yet. Not if we can help it. Bears are scary. Bears will kill us. You can kind of dance around them and just knife them. They have a very slow turning circle. If you bait it into an animation, then you can run past and kind of just wear it down. I'd rather not try my skill at that because I'm probably not going to be very good at that. Unfortunately, storms also do slow you down. Like, I'm fairly sure I'll survive in terms of the exposure element of it. I also really need water. Should have stopped after that lake before I came this way. Eating berries does give me a small amount of hydration as well. It's taking it off the red by just chowing down a bunch of berries at least. But it's not going to be a long-term solution, that's for sure. Right. These things are so damn fast. I'm not going to just blindly chase after a deer in case it leads me back to where that bear is. Kind of went a bit too far the wrong direction anyway. Can't remember if there's any rivers and stuff around this part. I suspect not. Oh, another wolf though. Nice. Ooh, level up. Good. Being just above a level is really good, because if you do happen to get killed, then the XP bonus doesn't drop your levels, it just takes you to the previous one usually. So that's a start. Can I not just drink the rain? It's where the movement speed buff of my armor is going to be coming in handy, that's for sure. More berries. The storm is almost over anyway. I think we're probably gonna... I think we're gonna get by without taking any exposure damage. We might get like a little bit. Maybe a couple of ticks. You can also just hollow out a rock. It's kind of too late for me to do that. I'll just take a bit of health damage, probably. But the storm is almost at the green stage again. Kind of goes from green to yellow. And now it's almost back to green again. And there we go. The worst of it has passed. Now how did I get down to this lake? I need to go back up to the ravine that I came through earlier, I think, and then just go down from there. Over we come. fall damage is a very real thing in this game. And broken bones are a very real thing in this game. Time to take screenshots. Stop admiring the view and get a drink. There we go. I heard wolves again. It's also getting to be nighttime. Can I make a bedroll? Have I killed enough stuff yet? No. I'm going to need to take out another couple of wolves, and I'd rather do that while I still have a bit of daytime. Here's one. Ow. Okay, attacking them in the undergrowth, very annoying, because you keep hitting the shrubs instead. Now, hopefully, between the two of those things, I get some more meat, which is nice, because I need that, because my food is low. But also, hopefully, this will now be enough furs. Yes, just enough furs to make a bedroll, which means I can sleep the night away, which is good. Repair my knife. And let's pop a house in the water slightly. Gonna need to cut down some more trees as well. But at least that gives me something. Then I can put my campfire just up here. It's just a rabbit over there, that's fine, I don't care about that. Oh, we do actually have quite a lot of wood on us. Let's just put some sticks in the campfire for now then. Light that up. That can attract predators, so we do need to be careful about that. And let's just put that there. Make another one there. Make another one there. And make one here with a door. Make a door. Make a bedroll. And make a roof. Perfect. We now have a spawn point. That's useful. And we can actually just sleep now so that it's not dark. I'm starving, but we can start eating some of this, which is good. What else should we do while we're here? Just waiting for that stuff to cook. What are these? Soybeans. Interesting. They've added a lot of extra stuff, which is nice. So we have a nice little cabin. I'm going to close the door. Wood things will last against most storms that you get in these early parts of the game. As storms get more intense, there's a wolf up there. I want his fur. I do feel that the wolves should notice you a little bit sooner. That would be one criticism I have. I should also be looking at my talent points. Could probably increase my movement speed again. Have a bit more wood. Just to keep me going. Ideally, I will get enough fur from more wolves and such to be able to make another base at the other place. Or another bedroll, rather. But at least we have a spawn point to come back to. Probably want to start unlocking bone things as well. Bone arrows, bone knife. They just do a little bit more damage, which is kind of nice. Don't really care about more. Well, actually a ramp. Ramps are useful, so I will make a ramp. Half pieces. Ah, nice. Detailed construction work. Cool, that's nice. Yeah, half pitches and half pieces. That's new. That's good. What to prioritize? I think bone arrow and bone knife, I think. Those in there. So, bone knife, first of all. 45 to 50, 49 to 55, so it's not a huge difference, but it's something. But it also gives you a increased amount of yield from skinning, which means more fur and the like. And then bone arrows also take leather, but that's fine. 45 to 50 instead of 31 to 35, so that's almost double damage and additional crit chance and less projectile break chance. So those are really nice. Basically, I'll keep using the stone arrows for now until they all get destroyed, basically. At the very least, I'll be swapping to use the bone ones once I get to the objective again. Alright, turn that off. Alright, let's leave the cabin behind again for now. It's also kind of nice that I just went up a level, so I won't get as much of an XP deficit if I do happen to perish. There's another wolf up here. If I can go up another level before I even get to the objective, that'll be really good. Lead the target a little bit. There we go. Just looks like he's gripped it in his teeth. It's like, how did that actually damage him? Chamois. They never predictably run away from you. I mean, it's kind of intelligent of them to just run sideways or something instead of just straight away. But I was hoping to run them up this canyon here. Let's mine some more of this. We are actually almost at level 7. So that's good. Do some mining, do some chopping of logs. Should be able to get there soon enough. Ideally, if I can get to level 10 at some point on this mission, that would be really good. Because then I'll be able to make a crafting bench, and that lets me upgrade to a longbow and other such things. And a textile bench, because while the cloth armor that I can craft at my character is good, having some leather armor would be nice. Can I just Skyrim my way up here? No. Basically I heard wolves and I want to come and find them. Nice. It's just a rabbit. Deer. Where were the wolves? Show me the wolves. More chamois. The rabbits. There's a wolf. They sit down a lot. Which makes them perfect targets. Hey, there we go. Oh, apparently we have so many berries, so I'm just going to eat those 4. Some more of that. Okay, we're already getting low on water again. Yeah, that's the other thing a crafting bench is good for. Then I can make myself just a water skin, which is not great, but it's better than nothing. This wolf is coming towards me. Let's take care of him real quick. Nice. Didn't get the kill cam, but that's alright. So what I probably want to make sure is that I trigger the objective. Keep picking up more berries just out of habit, but I don't actually need them. It helps with my hydration, I guess. Yeah, my target should be setting up for this objective and then being able to get back to my base again to drink up. Then we'll probably just up sticks and leave from there. Or more accurately, we'll just leave that little outpost base there as our respawn point. So, we want to build ourselves a little base up this way. At least it's a dead end, so we know things are only going to come from one direction.
It's around here somewhere.
Great, weather event. And it's just showers, we know that we can just survive those, but we are going to be building a little bit of a base here anyway, so we can make sure it's got a roof. And we'll be fine. Yep. It's kind of slightly clipped into the terrain, made it bounce a bit. So, let's get some of these going. Probably make ourselves another campfire here too. Probably a good idea. I need 24 of these.
This is the zone.
Oh, shut up, I know it's the zone. Okay, how about I just place this down? There we go. I'm not going to set it going yet, but I'll place it down. And we want to try and protect this a bit. I wish you had a bit more control over the grid. And you could, like, see where the next... Like, when placing the first post, it would be nice if they indicated where the future places would be. Would just assist a little bit in setting up a good base. Because often you just misjudge the angle slightly, and then it just looks really weird. So we're going to make this our little hidey shelter bit down here. Actually, give it a floor first. And do that. Can we get into there? We can get in there. And that's... Oh, no shelter. Shelter! was going to say, that's got to be good enough. Actually, what I do also need to do is take a short break, but I don't want to leave that with the game active. So we're going to wait another half a minute until it saves to the server again, and then we're going to return to character select screen, because this does not pause the game. The game is still going. You can see the exposure bar ticking down in at the top there. Because it is a live game. But what you can do is return to the character selection screen. Saves every minute usually. Yeah, there we go. Saved 1 second ago. So I know that that is what I expect. Not playing Subnautica WoW. Playing a different survival game. Just going to take a short break. Just wanting to be safe at that point. So I'll be back in a sec. Yes, I know this is the place. That's interesting. It reset the timer on the weather event because the weather event wasn't over. I've got my shelter all set up. Now it's saying connection issues. That's fun. Oh well, whatever. Fairly sure you can get away without putting posts around everywhere, but I like to make a stable base. Yeah, like all of these corner bits you don't need posts on unless you're building up quite high, I believe. Because we're playing solo, let's just do that. I don't really need another post anywhere. I don't think we're getting any lightning storms, so I don't really care about that. So we're just going to block this in. So because I'm playing solo, I'm just going to cheese the hell out of it. Which means making a platform with a roof, which is probably not that great for a radar unit, but I also don't care. I should probably have made one of these have a door, but I can just deconstruct them to get it out. So I might just wait until the showers pass. Getting low on water again, which is kind of annoying. I should be spending my talents. So, solo tree. So reduced animal damage from animals. That might be a really good thing to take straight away. Could just have more health and then regen. Or reduce damage. I feel reduced damage might be the way to go. Just at the moment. 3 more things to unlock. What do we want? I don't think the storms are getting bad enough to need a repair hammer. I think these just last slightly longer than the wood rag torches, and I kind of don't care. I have so much fibre and sticks. Floor torches are nice, but don't matter that much. I don't think there's anything more in the wooden things that I really care about. I've got the basics. You know, railings and nice angled roofs and stuff are all well and good, but I'll wait until I get stone. I'm very stingy when it comes to these sorts of games and what I purchase. I think I might just leave some points available, to be honest, and wait until I get, the next 3 levels. I'm pretty much not going to spend anything, I don't think. I guess I'll need a repair hammer at some point, so I may as well unlock that now. And it means that if things attack my base, I can repair it. So, stone knife, 45 to 50, spear, 45 to 50, but also critical damage, bone spear, 49 to 55, higher projectile damage though, so it's better to throw spears. And it's worse to throw knives. Interesting. Because to me, throwing a spear doesn't seem like a good idea, because then you don't have it. But it is a decent amount of projectile damage. But then a critical arrow does plenty of damage too. Speaking of, let's make some more bone arrows. That's right, I was going to make another campfire. I'm not sure I care, to be honest. I don't think I need to. Weather event's finished, for all intents and purposes. Oh, hello. There's a wolf out here. Oh, this is good practice, isn't it? I guess that's why I wanted the repair hammer. Anyone else? My hydration is very low, and that bothers me. Could probably just run into the... that's through the gap at the intact wall. There we go. Could probably just run down into the cave that's beneath me and just dodge any worms that are in there just to get a drink. Gonna repair that. And we're also going to swap to bone arrows now. And we need to get back inside. To do that, we just deconstruct a wall and put it back up again, because who needs doors anyway? So,
Okay. Station activated.
let's see what comes. I think with the spear thing, I might wait until I get like iron or something and do like an iron spear. Bone or iron or something.
Man, that's some angry
Cougars! Okay, that's interesting. I missed. I'm wanting to headshot them ideally. Good.
Something happened. You're gonna need to reactivate that thing.
Their animation drives them back a bit after attacking something. There we go, perfect. And that is why you cheese it. $8.70 just for skinning it. I missed how much I got for actually killing them. And then we need to reset the radar, which for all I know is going to summon more things, so... And do that, and do that again, and set it going again.
Systems online.
See if there's anything else. Well, we're almost finished now, 90%, 92. So I'm imagining it's just those first things.
Okay. Time
Good.
to move out.
Cool.
There's another zone marked
Pick up.
on your map.
See how much I can carry with me, eh? Okay, you have to repair them to be able to take them with you. I mean, that's plenty anyway, right? Yeah, that one can just demolish. Cool, we can carry it all. It's even not all that heavy. It's a lot of wood pieces, but it's actually not that heavy. Each one is only half a kilo, it looks like. Sweet. Let's repair some things. Got our ramp there, smock site there. nom some berries, and we need to get back to that base of ours. Head down the hill. I really should have indicated where my base was, but I know that it's just through the ravine and down at the lake. So hopefully we can get there before we start dehydrating. There's a wolf. I'm going to stop off to kill him. Berries will just keep me going. They'll just give me a little bit that I need to just keep going. I really need to get to level 10. When I was looking at the mission array of things last night after doing the first one, I did really feel that this and the Geo-survey one, the headstone map, they should really be swapped around. I thought I saw another wolf coming up this way. Because this one is a lot further to have to travel and a bit more demanding because there's more combat. Whereas the headstone one, where you just placed 3 geostations down and then a single, just a single central unit that you had to defend. For one, pretty much nothing really spawns when you're supposed to be defending the central unit. I just missed that wolf. I have no idea where he went. So for one, there was really nothing in particular that was risky about that mission, but it was also less distance to travel, which I feel is better as a second mission. This one's actually quite demanding as a second mission. Chow down some more berries. Harvest some more berries. Got a lot of meat to cook. And once more, I have more than a full stack of meat. So, there's a lot of talents that like increase the length of food buffs, and like your better knives increase your yield from skinning. You end up with so much food. It's absurd. I guess if I was playing multiplayer that would be useful, because it would be more mouths to feed, but I'm getting enough to feed a family of 4 here. What's the time? 1:34? So we probably want to move back towards our drop pod to place another base down. So do we even really care about this at this point? Probably not. We might just pick up that. We can make another bedroll anyway. So we'll leave that one there as insurance. Let's drink. Instead of just standing by the water and thinking about it. I accidentally put bones in instead of sticks. That's funny. It didn't run out of fuel anyway. Oops. Minor showers, whatever. We're just going to pick this up. And we're going to literally just run with it. So we have so much leather. Damn. So much leather, so much meat. You start off with very little. You end up with a lot. So we have a long way to go for the next objective. It's a very long walk. I think we're going to do the furthest one first and then come back and do that one. The one nearest my drop pod was the one where there was a bear the first time when I was doing this in beta. And the fact that there was nothing at the other things and I've now added more concerns me. So I think we're going to play it very safe. If I can, what will be really good is I'm actually very close to going up another level, so I should just gather some things here. Perfect. Now if I die, I won't have as much of a deficit. Always a thing to look out for, especially when you're playing solo. As soon as you get halfway to the next level, just level up. Do whatever you can around you to just level up. So then if you die, the XP debuff that you get will only go back to the start of the level that you're on, I'm fairly sure. Yeah, gather 100 fur from skinning. I do like that there's like the in-game achievements. I'd prefer it if they were also Steam achievements, because I just love that shit for no good reason. And it's really unhealthy actually chasing Steam achievements when they don't give me anything, but, you know, it gives a sort of focus to the game. And I do like it when there is those. In-game is all well and good, but it's nice when it can be translated to outside the game too. That way you can show off to people, right? Also means you don't actually have to be in the game. It's like, oh, so what should I aim to do? Okay, let's see, what achievements have I not unlocked? Oh, I should try and do this. That gives me an excuse to play this game. Things like that. Nice, through the bushes. We should be level 10 in no time. Then once we're level 10 we can look at some leather armor. We can upgrade our bow, which would be really nice. Storm's almost over again. In these first missions, the storms are not something you have to hugely worry about. You just move slower. I mean, I do have the cloth armor on, which does give me a little bit of protection. So that is probably the difference between me actually taking significant damage here or not. So what have I got? I've got, yeah, 7% exposure resistance, which, while not a huge amount, it's kind of just enough to have my bar just fill up to the point that I would probably start taking damage as the storm dissipates again. So just that first armor level is quite a good thing to have. I should eat some more of that, get my buff back. It's only a health buff, not a stamina buff, but it's better than nothing. And now my exposure is falling away again. What do we got for oxygen? We're alright. Cool. I need to stop just picking up berries for the sake of it. I don't need that many berries. I already have a ton. So long as you're keeping on top of your hydration. Berries are good for just staving off dehydration. But otherwise it's just for the buff, which you only need to activate once every 10 minutes. So don't need a huge number of them. Now, should I make a base out on that island now? It's probably not a bad idea just to be able to just throw up a small base. Just the mental image of someone literally just throwing up a base. If we just erect a small base over here, just have a respawn point, so if the worst happens, we're not back at the previous base. We can make more of these when we get to our destination. There. Make a bedroll. Put that in there. Bedroll here. Requires more shelter. Excuse you. Are you going to... Oh, no. It's going to be very picky. Hey, Tori, still enjoying this game? Definitely. It only just got into full release. It was previously only in beta. But now it's fully released. And I'm very happy with it. Except when it doesn't want me to shelter in my bed, which is kind of odd. Oh, now it's got it, apparently. I mean, making a door will help. I need one more wood, and then I can make a door. Let's just put this down outside. Let's just chop down a couple of trees, to be honest. Hey, Profound Pup, you just downloaded this. Good on you. It's a good game. I enjoy it anyway. Like, I really enjoy it. And yeah, it looks fantastic. Yeah, it's a beautiful game. I mean, look at it. And this isn't even on like the highest graphic settings. I have a lot of shit turned down. It is a beefy game. That is one thing I would warn people, is it is a beefy game. There's been a lot of reviews about, negative reviews about its performance. It runs fine, so long as you don't expect to be able to run it at full tilt if you do not have top-of-the-line hardware. And the recommended settings are quite clear on that. I feel that Steam needs to have 3 different settings things. Like, they have minimum and they have recommended. But people are not clear, I feel, about what recommended means. Minimum is, this game will run. It will look like crap, or potentially it'll look like crap, but it will run. You will be able to play this with your friends. Recommended, to me, means this will get you decent performance at decent quality levels. Not, this is what is recommended to get the most out of the game. This is what is recommended to get playable FPS and look decent, like look reasonable. That to me is what recommended settings mean. I think a lot of people think recommended settings is, this is all you need to have to be able to have it at maximum quality. And I don't think that is at all what that is meant to be. Let's start some of this cooking, shall we? It's already starting to spoil a bit. That's fine. So with that in mind, like, my computer is around the recommended settings, and I get decent performance out of it. Like, I don't get too much in the way of weird hitching or frame drops or anything like that. Your mileage may vary. Hung that the wrong way around. I actually want this to be hung the other side. That's better. There we go, that's better. So I feel what Steam needs to do is give developers the opportunity to have a third thing, and that is maximum settings or something. It's not facing the same way, that's better. So then they can say, okay, here's the bare minimum that you need to run a game at all. And then, here is what we recommend in order to get decent performance out of it. I'm just being kind of fancy here. No, not that one. That one. And then we're going to make this like a second doorway, but not actually have a door. So now I've got like a little atrium here. That's kind of nice. There we go. Little atrium. Because I would say that like the maximum settings for this game, you need to have like a 3080 Ti or a 3090 and a top-of-the-line processor. It is a demanding game. If you want to crank everything at epic, but you know, that's not necessary to play a game. You can enjoy a lot of a game without it running at, like, maximum settings or anything. What are we wanting to do? We wanted to look more into our talents, so we have a point available. We can decrease those. That's kind of useful just in terms of the water consumption, especially because I'm running through that a lot. But once we can make a water skin, then that will help. Blueprint points I don't care about at the moment. Harder to detect when sneaking, that can be very handy. Especially around bears and the like. But I think I need to decide whether or not I care too much about going further down this tree. The health stuff I'll probably take. Extra base health and health regen. Kind of useful. Then if you're just kiting things, you're getting better regeneration. Increased yields, increased XP gain, I don't care about any of that stuff. I think it's probably time to start looking at some of these things here. The increased movement speed with a blade. I've nerfed that a bit. I think it used to be 5, 10, 15, now it's 2, 5, 10. Or with a bow. Bow is 5, 8, 10. Interesting, so that's 2, 5, 10. That is 5, 8, 10. Very interesting. Maybe I don't do anything in the knife side of things then. Increased multiplier though. Because I used to rely on the knife a lot, especially because I'd just run with it. But if the increased move speed is the same as with a bow, then I think I just want to do that, and then I just run everywhere with my bow. Cheaper bow crafting, that's kind of good when it comes to the recurve bow, especially. Less iron required. Bonus damage, always nice. Further bonus to damage. Increased durability. Not too bothered about that. Arrow strikes slow your target? That could be handy. Craft double and crafting arrows. That's kind of nice when it comes to iron and stuff, but not too bothered. Increased accuracy. What does that even mean? If you're aiming, then pretty much goes on target. Chance to fire 2 arrows. Just legless that shit. Bleed. That's good. So I think this line is really good to get bleed effects going. Homing instinct, so it's like an aim assist. Immobilize. Nice. Be nice if you had abilities. That would be cool. If you could have like up to 3 abilities that you could trigger. So instead of it being like a 5% chance, it'd be your next arrow will immobilize your target. That would be interesting. That would be a lot more tactical. The idea being that you're like focusing on where to hit it or something, and it immobilizes it by giving it an arrow in the knee, for example. So that might be what I go towards there. Kind of don't care about the buildable stuff too much. Tools, they've consolidated a bit. Mining radius, that I do love a good increased mining radius. I don't care about pickaxe crafting because I'm going to be getting one from the station. Okay, so I just don't care about this last... Just don't care about that last tree. I feel survival is where I'm going to put a lot of stuff. Increased move speed or crouching is good. Increased base stamina again. Turn leather into rope. Interesting. The move speed while carrying corpses. So that's been nerfed a bit. It used to be 10%, now it's 5%. Animal health bars. Kinda nice. Increased leather. You end up with so much leather. You do not need that. Harder to detect when in stealth. That could be useful. So I think I'll probably still take this. Harder to detect when sneaking. I'll take that still. Blueprints I'm saving up. Oh, and it's now nighttime so I can sleep. I've mostly just been waiting for this stuff to cook. I also have way too many like sticks and stuff that I don't care about. Sleeping. Cool. I think we're ready to head off again soon. We'll get some more water, obviously. Got some spare wood. We've used up a lot of our base materials, but that's fine. Just craft another one of those just to have it on us. Craft another couple of walls would be a good idea as well, I think. Make some more bow and arrows as well, come to think of it. I can make a lot of bow and arrows, let's just do that. And what I might actually do is just leave a bunch of stuff. I'll craft another campfire to take with me as well, just so I've already got it with me. Lots of stuff. So much leather. So a fun little thing, I'm actually going to drop this down here. Fun little thing you can do is these don't really lose their durability. Actually placing it on here is bad though if my base was to be destroyed. So I guess I'll put it underneath this instead. Oh, and now there's a weather event now that I've slept. Whatever, I guess I'll be travelling through that. Things like my old stone knife can stay there, my stone arrows can go there, and I'll just use bone now. I'm just going to eat that carrot, why not? Things like that, some extra leather, that can just go in here for now. You can put anything in just a campfire as storage, so you don't need to unlock any storage containers. Repair hammer I will leave here. I will make another one if I need one. So you don't need to worry about making storage containers, because you can just make campfires and put them in there. Because storage containers you can't leave out in the open. So I have more meat than I know what to do with, and my campfire is now being doused by the rain. So that's my cue to leave. That is my cue to just run off into the wilderness again. And we want to go up to O10. It's a long way away. How are we off for oxygen? 16, we need some more. So we'll mine some oxites, we will have a drink before we go, but we are going to be passing at least one lake when we get close to our objective, which is nice. I do remember that much. I'm fairly sure they've not changed the beta much in any way, so... I need to stop just running with my knife out. I don't need to. And I'm not going to need to. I'm going to take the bow move speed one instead. The first time you leave the water you kind of dolphin dive. It's the opposite of Subnautica. Travel 10 kilometers total in caves. I have not entered a cave. I think it's a bit bugged. I've travelled 10k's in the forest, but it's a little bit bugged. It's giving me credit for the cave one, and I have not done that. And 10 kilometers total, yeah. I haven't actually looked at the accolades that... I noticed there was the tab there, but I haven't looked at what there is and what I should be going towards. You don't get any rewards out of them, I don't think. It would be nice if they did have some passive rewards. Maybe they do, I haven't looked. I mean, I may as well just take a look now, to be honest. Accolades. There's the bosses. Nice. Hunting. Skinning. Yeah, it would be kind of nice if these did give a little passive, so it's like, you know, nothing major, but like travel 10 kilometers total, 1% bonus movement speed while in forests or something like that. That'd be kind of nice. Not necessary, just kind of nice. Do you move faster with your tools away, I wonder? 301? 301. No difference. Good. That's what I'd hope. Storm's almost over. Again, cloth armor, just enough to see me through. I believe the idea is that after you finish each of the objectives, you get another storm. Certainly in the beta, after I finished the third objective, which was actually the furthest one from my base, a lightning storm started. There was like a flash storm. What I suspect is that that's always the case. I'm just going to pass. This is where the other, like the last one is. I'm going to leave that, and I'm going to come back to that later. I'm going to do that one last, because it's closest to my drop pod. Because, yeah, assuming that the flash storm thing is a scripted event after the last objective, I want to leave it till last for that reason. So that way I'm just close to my drop pod and I can just run straight back to my drop pod, jump on in, and leave. I also have a bit of an idea of what to do on that last one. I'm going to cheese it with base pieces. Like most of these. Gotta say, for a mission this large, I really do miss my movement speed buffs that I was enjoying when I was like max level in the beta. So what I'm up to now? 408. Yeah, so, you know, it's alright. But it could be better. Ah, thanks Tori for the gift sub to Kruka. Welcome Kruka, you can use the cool emotes now. We do have new emotes. Relatively new. You can now call out something when it's a pun. And say when things are nice. Nice. Tori being so generous. I need a shout-out command. I still haven't put together a shout-out command, and I need to do that. I don't actually know how to do it, but I'm sure there's plenty of guides that can tell me. Oh, also, there's tea now. Tea bush. I think you need a herbalism bench before you can make tea, but that's something that I'm looking forward to. Especially in the outpost, which I've not actually looked at yet. I haven't been to my outpost area. I believe XP gain is neutered in outpost areas, which is perfectly fair enough. I think you only get like 60% or less. I think maybe only half XP. Giving like 10 subs at this point. Scatter the gift subs. Torres area of effect gift sub. Ah. Bye. Oh, you're tougher than I expected. Usually one arrow and one knife to the face does it. I don't need to attack things a lot of the time. It'll be good XP, of course. And we do like our XP. But it isn't a priority. But it is also good to just refresh like bones and stuff so I can keep my weapons repaired. And make more arrows if I need to. Glorious new emotes, they must be shared. Yes. Thank you. I'm quite happy with that. They're very simple. Like, I just kind of messed around a bit in Word for the likes of pun and nice, hi I'm dad. Those are actually just the gradient effect in Word. Same as what I use for my thumbnails for YouTube for speedruns. Nothing fancy, and then just ran it through GIMP to make sure it had transparency and add a couple of effects. The truck ones took a lot longer. Like doing the actual drawing on the truck ones and image manipulation, that took a bit longer. That was most of an evening to get those going. I'm really happy with how the truck uwu and the truck lewd came out though. For not having done a lot of digital art recently, I didn't even use my tablet. I have a Wacom tablet that's very old, but I just used my mouse for those, and it came out alright. I was kind of happy. Especially with the lewd tongue, that actually came out much better than I expected it would. From downtown! Level 9. Nice. Level 10, I believe you get some extra talent points. You don't just get the one from leveling up to level 10. I seem to remember, assuming they've not changed it, maybe it was just a beta acceleration thing, but they did have it that you got like a bunch, like 5 or 6 talent points. Let's see if that's still the case. I want to see if this cave is still here. There was a really good cave. Yeah, here it is. This water is cold. Now, they have added hostiles in caves. Caves are no longer as safe as they once were. So I'm a bit curious to see how, when they start appearing. Am I just going to surface at the end of this and be ambushed? Probably. She had dumps like a truck. Truck, truck. Fantastic. Yes. That's a callback. Let me see that thong. Good old Cisco. That song was a classic back in the day, for sure. I was not particularly old enough to understand everything that was being said. Or I probably shouldn't have been. Now, I can make myself a torch. How far do I have to go before things start appearing and shooting at me? Maybe this cave is safe? Surely not. I'm just ready to book it back to the water as soon as I have to. This cave is actually safe. At least to this point. That's good to know, if this is always the case. No cave worms. And a ton of iron. This is still the best place to come for iron then. So long as this cave is available in my map area, this is the best place to come for iron. If I really want to gear up before the final objective, this is the place to do it. I'm very tempted, to be honest. I'm honestly incredulous that there has not been any bad guys. One of those songs that once you heard it was stuck in your head all day. Absolutely. I especially love that kind of the key change at the end before the final chorus, and there was all the neon dances in the music video. That was a very key part that always got stuck in my head. I'm a sucker for just little things like that in songs, whether it's just a little prominent bass line or, yeah, kind of a change to the music. I love that stuff. So I really need to level up so that I can make a crafting bench in here. So I guess I go and do this objective first, and then I come back here. But yeah, I am amazed that that cave... Oh, I've got pneumonia from hanging out in the cave for too long, which has impacted my stamina, but worth it. I am amazed that that cave is that safe. I was expecting to just be ambushed by a ton of cave worms. But maybe they just don't like the fact that you have to go through water to get there. Gonna need more coffee soon. But that's a great place to put a spawn point near to this next objective. Oop. Hi. Hello, chamois. Goodbye, chamois. So, continue around the lake. This is a really, really good spot. It's not as good as the lake that has an island in the middle of it. Way down in the... what is it? Down this way? That one there, I think. There's a little island in that lake. Perfect place for a base because you don't get wolves and stuff coming up and bothering you. It's like a little raised island. But this one's a close second with that cave there. It's a case of what you prefer. Living in caves, not great because you very often end up with the stamina debuff. Though later on you can counteract the pneumonia to, illustrate what I'm meaning. This thing here. From spending too long in caves, so you lose health regeneration and maximum stamina. And an experience debuff, which I did not realise. We can counteract the stamina a little bit. We can counteract the health by this slightly, and the stamina by this slightly. Plus 50 max stamina, minus 50% max stamina. So we can, mitigate the effects slightly. Yeah, you can also make like pastes and things later that will help to stave off infections like that. But it's not a huge deal, especially if you take buffs to your stamina like I do. Actually, I haven't spent my talents. 1 point available. I can increase my health. I feel increasing my health is actually going to be quite good. Just allows a little bit more peace of mind when tangling with wolves and such. A lot of the time it's just insurance against being caught by surprise, is all it comes down to. If you plan an encounter in advance well enough, then wolves are academic because you just snipe them in the head. Even with just a basic bow, you will usually take them out one shot with a headshot. Things like bears are trickier, but you can put obstacles in their way, or you can lead them to water where they're much easier to just back away from and kill.
You made it. Now you're going to need to search the area.
No, I'm not. Do I need to put that one down, or can I just build above the ground? Just in case. We're probably going to have to pick up some more logs. We'll just chop a tree down near here. Yep, out of wood. That's fine. There's some trees. What was I saying? Yes, well, this is kind of relevant because I'm making preparations. So the point is that if you know that you're going to encounter things, or you're gearing up to encounter things at a particular point, you can build a small base nearby, or just find a convenient rock or something like that. Anything that gets you out of range, really. You've always got to remember that the human form is pretty weak at the end of the day. We have strength in other ways most of the time. You can go toe-to-toe with things like wolves, at least in this game. Probably even the cougars earlier that attacked their first location. Bears, never a good idea to meet face-to-face. Do I care about that? I don't think I care about that. So you should always try and deal with things at range, is my advice. So if you're able to put together a little folly, essentially, little hide, then that goes a long way. How do we want to do this? Kind of want to be on top of it. So I think we build this out a little bit further. And then have a ramp. We already have a ramp built anyway. It's basically like Fortnite, as I understand that game. Just build it out such that you have an advantage over your opponents. There we go. So, it is currently still daytime. It is a good time to do things. I have plenty of water. I have plenty of food. We are buffed up as much as we can be. We do still have pneumonia. That has 3 minutes to run. I don't think that that is significant enough to hold me back. Set it going.
We're reading the station. It's active.
There's a wolf over there, but that's a normal one. I expect some hostiles. What sort? I don't know. Hopefully they will attack the base first. What I should probably have actually done is set up just a protective perimeter around the radar and then put my own little base further away.
Those things are not happy.
Oh, hello. They actually spawned in the base. Well, I guess I'm going up here. That's hilarious. I'm just going to let them destroy that.
You'll need to turn it on again.
It's quite amusing. Stand on the post. Posts are pretty resilient. Wait for the animation. Then they kind of move backwards with the animation. I mean, I can probably just take these on face to face, to be honest. Headshot, headshot. Headshot. Perfect. That was funny.
Good. We're reading the station. It's active.
Uh-oh, yeah, that was just funny. I expected them to spawn further away and run in, but nope, they spawned right on the damn thing. So that's something to bear in mind.
There's more to do. Check your map for the next zone.
Cool, that's location 2 done. We're just going to leave the base materials here. I'll just make another thing at the next one. Gather 500 leather from skinning. Nice. Repair our knife, repair our bow. We still have plenty of arrows, and we can make lots more. That's just a normal wolf. And another one. And another one. These are just normal guys. If you don't clear up animal corpses soon enough, it does attract wildlife, and that's probably what happened there. I wasn't quick enough in doing all of the skinning, and that attracted more predators. That's fine. More XP for me. We do have a wound, which is stopping us regenerating health. We also still have our pneumonia, which is stopping us regenerating health. But that's fine. We have so much meat. My word. So much meat, so much fur. Again, you just end up with such a surplus. We can make a bandage, at least, to... Wait, was that 80 XP to craft bandages again? Okay, bandages are broken again. They nerfed that in the beta. Let's consume one of those, because I do need to legitimately get rid of a wound, but... In the beta, they nerfed the amount of XP that bandages gave you, because 80 XP? That's a lot. But it seems that bandages are the way to go still. Can't remember how many arrows is your maximum. I'm gonna guess they only stack to 100, so we're gonna make slightly fewer than that. So much for... Once we're level 10, we're gonna be able to make a... Hello? Crafting bench and textile bench and... yeah, all that good stuff. Ooh, almost 600 damage. Nice. So, one map location to go. Almost level 10. One more wolf will probably be all I need, but otherwise I can just make a bunch of bandages, it turns out. I can actually just mine some iron too, to be honest, because I'm going to start using that soon. I will need more stone as well. We'll get down closer to where that cave is again, I think. I definitely don't want to encounter anything that'll kill me right now because I'm so close to leveling up. How are we off your oxygen actually? We need some more. Let's clear out this. This might even get me there. Kinda hope it does. Oh, just a deer. I do wish that the detection icon in the middle was a different colour based on the sort of thing that saw you. Like if it was a green eye, if it was just a deer. A yellow eye if it was something like defensive. Something like a bison or something that... Perfect, there we go. Something that will attack you if you attack it. And then red if it's an actual hostile thing. Be nice if there was that distinction. Just make it a little bit easier to know if you should be worried about things. But you should always try to be aware of your surroundings anyway. I'm actually going to start making some of these things again. Let's make 8 of those. And we're just going to pop that in there. And we're going to make another one of those. Condensers 1. Inventory space. We haven't actually dealt with this, which means it's going to attract more if I'm not careful, so let's get rid of that right now. Oh no, it might attract more predators for me to kill. Nope, just some chamois at the moment. Don't care about them. So, back we go to here. And we have a bit of a plan of how I'm going to do the next thing. Because I know that it is more dangerous. We've had level 1 cougars. We have had a pack of level 1 wolves. As I understand it, the next thing is a couple of bears. And even if they're only level 1 bears, bears are strong. They take a lot of hits to kill. I need to remember to put my bow out, not my knife, because now I have a movement speed increase when I have a bow out. We're now at 426, which is nice. It looks ridiculous running with the bow out, but I might invest in the blade one as well if I end up with a lot of talents to spare, but that's kind of unlikely. I think they might have hauled back on the amount of talents that you get. I have a feeling that the amount of talents that we got in the beta weekend, even though the level was capped at level 30, I think the amount of talents you got was more like what you'd have at level 40. I think that was intentional, just so people could experiment a bit more. We're just ignoring caves at the moment. I haven't seen any yeast. I've also not actually been actively looking. But we only have 2 minutes left on our pneumonia debuff anyway. So that's fine. Because I have the foliage settings turned down I'm only going to notice that is a bison over there. That's cool. Hopefully it won't attack me. I feel that it shouldn't attack me, but it also may not run away. I feel they're not going to be intimidated like deer are. Chamois. Thought it was a bear. Thankfully not. Chamois. Chamois. Gonna need more wood when we get to where we're going, but there's plenty of trees. Actually, do I have enough on me to make another bedroll? I do. Good. Because ideally I want to make it so I can spawn reasonably close by. Actually, I might just run back to my base by my drop pod first. Before I do anything funky at the next place. I'll go around the lake. Oh, I got bacteria from the water. Ooh. That's annoying. I wonder if that's something that the yeast thing might help with as well. But again, I haven't seen any yeast. I've seen there's these blue things, the lilies, but I've not seen the yeast plants. Yeah, let's head back to my drop pod first. My base there, because I don't think there's much point making a base, making a new bedroll near here when it's just pretty close. Maybe there is. Maybe there is. Maybe we should. Let's head down by the lake again, or maybe on like these rocky outcroppings or something. There's a bloodstain. I guess something fell down the cliff. Oh, there's a cave there. Interesting. Very interesting. Something got damaged. So what I was thinking is, if there are bears that come, I want a safe way to lead them away. Is it procedurally generated? No, it is not. Well, I think like the trees and foliage and stones and stuff might be. I'm not sure about the resource nodes and iron and stuff. The overall map is not. It is a 64 square kilometer sculpted map. I think that they made the decision, excuse me, much like some Subnautica devs did, I think. They made the decision that a set map, a like hand sculpted map, gives them more control over the objectives and what to do with it. And that way you end up with less weird things happening. With a procedural map, you end up with a lot of really weird stuff going on a lot of the time. Like if you're not careful. This is a weird grid that it's generated. That's annoying. If we go far enough away, the grid might reset. And yeah, with procedural stuff, you often end up with kind of weird artifacts of things appearing inside of other things and stuff like that. And you have less risk of that happening if you've crafted the map. Obviously, you still do get certain things inside other things, but it's not great for replayability. Again, it depends on what you want out of the game for replayability. I personally don't have a problem with it. I'm going to... I already have replayed the hell out of this game, and will continue to do so. Procedurally generated map... I mean, Kruka, you speedrun Subnautica, right? That is not a procedurally generated map. But how many hours do you have in that game? How much have you replayed that game? You do not need procedural generation to have replayability. You just need content that is engaging enough for people to come back and play a game over and over again.
Here we are. But you know what to do?
Speaking of replayability, this guy really likes replaying his voice lines, which is kind of annoying. But never mind. But yeah, it's not going to have the same amount of staying power necessarily for people to just endlessly replay content over and 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 over again until they start adding content through their planned DLCs and stuff. Sure. Is that their goal? Probably not. Like, they probably don't have much of an issue with the fact that people are not going to be playing it, like, grinding the game. And that's partly just a problem with gamer culture a bit at the moment, is that there is this expectation that people should be able to just endlessly play a game ad nauseum, which is not healthy for them or for the game, because then the game just kind of burns out too quickly. Like, that's a lot of the complaints that people had around New World. Now, that game had a lot of other problems, that's for damn sure. But it also did have a large element of people just playing the hell out of it and getting burnt out of it far too quickly. Now, that is less the fault of the game and more the player. However, that is an MMO, and that is an expectation of MMOs. But if you kind of ration your game time a bit more, then you get a lot more out of a game. Unfortunately, New World suffered from, at the same time, encouraging people to play the game an awful lot, like making house taxes a fixed duration, not a game time thing, but a real time thing. And it had, like, the wars and all sorts going on, so it was trying to encourage people to play it a lot, as you'd expect from an MMO, but it didn't have the content there to keep people playing it a lot. This is not that. This is not an MMO. This is a survival game, first and foremost. This is much more a case of play it at your own speed. Yes, you have the limited time prospect, but I have 6 days to finish this mission. 6 days. I can play an hour, I can go away, I can come back, you know. I can take my time. Yes, I am making do with this on pretty much the bare minimum. I could grind out XP, I could level up a lot. A week is a long time to spend in a mission like this. But you can just play it at your own speed. You can either speedrun it, and just blitz through it in order to just get more rewards more quickly. I would not advise it with this mission because there are things that you have to defend yourself against. Especially the bears. Not the sort of thing you want to rush. Or you can just take your time. Yes, if you make a nice big base, it won't last beyond that period of time. But if you're the sort to put a lot of time into making a big base, that kind of won't matter to you, I feel. It certainly doesn't matter to me. The timer is in real life time, yes. I believe, because I am playing online, like using their servers, then I believe the timer will constantly tick down. There is an offline mode. If you play fully offline, then I don't know what the timers do. They might not behave the same. So what we're doing here, we'll place this once we're outside. What we're doing here is making ourselves a little defensive thing going on here. We're going to put this here for... I just realised that wall was backwards, but whatever, I don't care. We're making ourselves a little defensive platform here. It will buy us some time. There are bears that are going to come and they are going to attack us. This buys us some time. What I'm now also going to do is make a safe pathway so I don't break my legs that goes down to the water. Probably don't need to worry about this bit so much. And this is safe along here. But then here there's a bit of a drop off. Actually, this is fine. This is fine. I could just run straight to the water from here. From on top of
This
this.
is the zone.
Yes, I know it
It's
is.
around here somewhere.
I'm just going to have this ramp on me. I can actually interact with this from up here, which is nice. So that's kind of good. So I can just do that when it stops and I have to restart it again. Yeah, I suspect that if you were playing offline, the timer would not be real life time, but even if it is, say it's a very generous timer, and this is one of the shorter missions. You can get longer missions as well, I'm fairly sure. So... Anyway. Should we make some more bandages? No, that's fine. I think we stop stalling and we just do this.
Okay.
I don't like dealing with bears, but the more that I put it off, the more that I'm just going to have to deal with it at some point. Where are they going to spawn in? If they spawn in on top of me, then I'll be very annoyed. Hopefully they spawn a little bit further away and I can get some headshots in as they approach. If in doubt... Oh, here they are. There's one.
Angry wildlife.
Now they can't reach me easily up here. They're going to attack the base. That's one of them down, I think.
You lost power.
Yes.
You'll need to turn it on again.
Got him.
That's it.
They were at least only level 1. There's a wolf that's coming to investigate as well. Alright, let's clear out these bodies so that it doesn't attract too many more. But we're done!
Good. Data's clean.
Okay, so I kind of got psyched out by the fact that it was bears, but... 2 bears especially is very intimidating. If I wasn't at range, that would have been difficult. But, all in all, that went better than expected. I was expecting to have to run away. I thought they were going to break through the base and I was going to have to run away from them. And I can just pick this up through the ruined remains of my base.
Well, you're done.
And we just leave that there.
You did a lot more than just survive.
Cool. What's our XP like, actually? We're almost at level 12. Probably not going to make it there unless I really focus it. But that just means that when we start out the next mission, then we'll get to level 25, level 12 pretty quickly. Cool, well that's $100 that I'll get from this, which means we'll need to be able to start researching things. Need to get a lot more rewards before you can really unlock a lot of stuff. We'll be able to leave here before it's dark at least. We are going the right way, aren't we? Yes, good. I do kind of wish that the drop pod at least remained on your compass as a reference point, instead of you having to put a marker on it, because I feel that the drop pod should have something that you can refer back to, you know. And we didn't need our safety base at all. Oh, hello. Checking out the drop pod, it seems. I mean, that's getting us closer to level 12, isn't it? Maybe I should just do a sweep around the lake or something. Chamois over there. If I see a wolf, then I might go chasing it, but otherwise, no. That's bear. No, not bear. Deer. A couple of chamois over there. Well, there's my lovely little log cabin. Once again. So they added a photo mode too, which is really nice. So you can actually just do this and be like have like drone pictures taken, which is really nice. And there's settings that you can put on it, so you can do like extra fancy stuff, bloom intensity and all sorts. You can hype up the resolution. I wish this was not a slider. That's really annoying. We can take a 4K screenshot though. the wider field of view if we so wish. Start getting a little bit of distortion if we do too much of that though. Exposure? How about underexposure? I always prefer underexposure in photos to overexposure. You get... oh, that's... yeah. You get more contrast that way. That's lovely. Wish there was like a... you could type that in. It would be nice if you could type that in. Preset name. Scenic. Cool. Oh, E is take photo. Because I called it scenic, it took the photo halfway through. That's fun. Toggle settings. Take photo. So that isn't a screen, a Steam screenshot. So we do that separately. Unfortunately, we can't do it while this is open unless we do like that. That? No, didn't work. So we need to exit out of photo mode again. But we can take a screenshot like... we'll go back into player mode there. We can do that for a Steam screenshot. The other one saves the high-res version to your drive separately instead. But yeah. Time to leave. Night's falling. It's beautiful here at dusk, but it's time to go. Menu, please. Oh, I still had the UI hidden, of course. I'm an idiot. So it shows that you can load things into the dropship cargo, but the only things that actually come back with you are things that are considered exotics. We'll pretend that we're bringing their radar back for them. Like, you can put whatever you like in here, but nothing actually comes back with you except for exotic materials, and these are not exotic materials, but hey. Return to station. Done. Took a bit longer than it needed to. There was like 3 hours instead of probably 30 minutes, but we were still leveling up, so it takes time. Give myself a thumbs up.